You want to go on a road trip with us? It's going to be fun. So this is kind of like a rescue mission. It's going to be fun because I'm taking my dad. We have to go get him. He lives really, really far away. We're going up to Ohio. So there and back is a 1,000-mile road trip. And this is cool because I'm picking up something I built a long time ago. If you follow my channel for a long time, you know that I used to be a carpenter. I used to build furniture. And this is something I built a long time ago that's not being really used right now. And we're going to do a little rescue mission. And I'm going to show it to you. It's really cool. But this is a long-range Model Y. I charged it up quite a bit. It's over probably 90%. We'll look at that when we go inside. But the biggest difference is it's not lifted, but I do have off-road wheels and tires. They do stick out a little bit. And these are from Unplugged Performance with some Yokohama tires. They're 18-inch beadlock wheels and tires. They are amazing. I love these things. I really like that you can just not care about potholes or anything or bumps or anything and to just drive this thing. It's awesome. So I can't wait for the lift kit to show up. But we're going to be doing a road trip with these and see the difference from normal. Now, I've had these on for about 700 miles in town and a couple trips down to Charlotte and back, but mostly city driving. And they're not that much worse than the factory ones for the way I drive. I do drive a little aggressive, I'll admit that. But on the highway with my dad, obviously I'm not going to be driving aggressive. We are going over the Appalachian Mountains, so it is going to be uphill and downhill. And then once we get to Ohio, I don't think there's a hill in Ohio at all. It's pretty much all flat. So let's go get my dad. I'm all packed up. We're going there and coming right back tomorrow, and it's going to be fun. Come join us. You want to go on a trip with us? It's going to be fun. All right, we're off. Got to go pick up my dad first. And it's really far down the road. Oh, we're here. We'll go pick him up. And tell you what, we are starting at 91% battery. All right, I put the destination in, and well, it looks like we'll get there at 6 o'clock. We're going to see if we can beat that. We're going to go fast. I'm just kidding. We're going to go. But it says 3 stops, and then we'll get to Elyria, Ohio. That's where we're going. And 5, where's the miles?
I think 500 and something.
It was 400 straight, so I think it was 500 miles. We're going to be going through the mountains, like I said, so we're going to see what the watt-hour per mile is. Right now, let's actually go to trips. So I have 1,200 miles on these wheels and tires, so we're going to see what it's like, and the average is 322 watt-hour per mile. Before, the total car has 291, so really not a huge difference. We're going to reset this top one. Oops. We want to show both of them. We're going to reset this top one, and that is going to be this road trip. And this is with it since the wheels and tires put on. So yeah, so I'm gonna do a little bit over the speed limit, but not a whole lot over the speed limit. So, and we should get to the supercharger at Princeton with 32%. We might play with that a little bit and see how much farther we can push it, because I like to push things a little farther. Although we're only stopping 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and 10 minutes, so it's not too bad. It's actually not too bad. It's about average. So let's get on the road. So we made it to the Princeton Supercharger. This is in West Virginia. So we made it all the way through Virginia. And since the last drive, since we left the house, 349 watt-hour per mile. Now, that's because we went up the mountain. So we're I don't even think we're all the way at the top of the mountains yet. No. So it's gonna take a little bit more. And then when we go down, that'll kind of level out a little bit. I think we have to charge here for 15 minutes to get to the next one in Ripley. But I want to double check the superchargers because some of them are not great. There's nothing around them, so I want to check that as we charge a little bit. Just heard it click on, so we're charging at a good rate here. It's going up and up and up. It'll get over 200, and then we're gonna use the restroom, maybe get a snack, and Now, if that person was icing that spot and this was packed, I would say something to them. But for right now, we'll just let it go.
Went pretty quick then.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. We're at 70% battery. It says we'll get to the next charger with 19%. And obviously those numbers are the same. I waited a little extra. Normally I leave to get to the next charger with 10-15%, but with these wheels and tires, and going through the mountains, I want to give it a little bit extra. It just hit 20%. We'll see what it is. There is some slow traffic. If you look right there, there's a couple dots showing a little bit of slow traffic. We have 2 hours and 4-minute drive, and let's get going. The charger filled up a little bit, but now we just get on the road. A lot of Model 3s. And a lot of people on vacation. So we made it to Ripley. This is Ripley, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Ripley, West Virginia. So we were going down the mountain, so 306 watt-hour per mile. We are going to charge here for a little bit. So we have to charge for 20 minutes and move on to the next one. This is a Sheetz gas station. Not much else to do here. But pretty soon we'll be out of West Virginia and then heading into Ohio. And then we'll get a little bit better watt-hour per mile. And then I'll show you the cool thing that I built quite a few years ago. How long has it been since I built that thing?
What's that?
The podium.
Oh, got to be 6-7 years ago. At least.
Longer than that. We've been down in North Carolina for longer than that.
So it'd be 10 years then.
10 years. You'll like it. It's pretty cool. So, sitting here, getting slower charge. But it says we'll get there with 11% battery. 12%. It's good enough for me. Oh, these are pull-through ones too. Cool. That's right. These are good for trailers.
Okay.
Now you have arrived at your destination.
So we just made it here with really high watt-hour per mile. At one point we were over 500 watt-hour per mile for some reason. I still think we're dragging something. I'm not sure. Like maybe a bag got caught underneath the car. But it was ridiculously high for some reason. And then it would drop down quite a bit. We did get here with 5% battery, but this was trying to redirect us to a closer supercharger, which was slower. So I just slowed down to make it here because this is a 250 one. And I'm plug in, and then we're going to stop a little sooner than our destination, so we can. I think there's a charger around here that's really fast. That's life on the road with a Tesla. Charger after charger after charger at gas stations, which is ironic.
Again.
Don't know why it's taking so much energy, but maybe it's because the hills. There are some hills in Ohio apparently, so it's taking a little bit extra. So a little change of plans. We're actually going to a closer supercharger to where we're going to be ending at. I was going to go up here, but we're going to stop at this one. This is a fast supercharger, and it's the last fast one before we get to Elyria. So worst case, we can always go here. Well, we'll probably go here tonight just to charge it up. But want to stop there. We'll get there with 17%. We barely stopped here at all, and we're on the road again. We wanted to go to these chargers because they're right off the turnpike, and it shows that it kept redirecting us because these were not on. They're working on the other side of the highway. But it looks like this last one might be on. We'll plug into it and see. It says it's not working on the car, but it's right off the highway. I mean, the highway's right there, so you might as well try. But it looked like the light was on. It's not. Oh, it turned on. It opened. I don't hear anything clicking. So, yeah, still out of service. Worth a shot, maybe, because it was coming on and off when we were looking for superchargers. It was coming on and off because the one across the street, oh, now it shows off on the other side too, so there must be some issue here. with the cabinet right over there maybe. Hopefully the next one works. So we had to go a little farther than we wanted to, but we got here with 5% battery and 348 watt-hour per mile. This is a slow charger, but so in a slow charger, you got to remember to make sure you're not sharing power with somebody. And of course, I picked the one that's out of order. If you can see the yellow thing I should have watched. So I'm gonna move over when he moves over. So with V2s, you have to make sure you're not charging on the same cabinet as somebody else, because then you share power. So 150 kilowatts is cut in half, or really it's prioritized to whoever was there first. So this is 4A, 4B. He was on 4B. I don't want to use his because his handle will be hot. So I want to use this one. It's a little cooler. Oh, we only have to stop here for an hour and 5 minutes.
Well, not bad.
No, we're just going to get enough. Well, we are at 5%, so it'll ramp up in a little bit. 5% is pretty low. So I'm going to get on the phone and check what hotels have charging around here. So typical me. I didn't bring my mobile charger, and I don't even know if I have one for this because it's a lease. I think I didn't even take Karen's mobile charger for the Model X. I should have brought that, so I can't even trickle charge 110 at my brother's house, whatever. There's not much charging around this area. It's kind of crazy. This charger is going super slow. It's one of the older ones. It's a version 2, but we're getting 74 kilowatts, which is so super slow. And you see there's only one other car here. It's going to take forever to charge. So we're just getting enough to charge to go to the church to get what we're picking up, go to my brother's house, have some dinner, and then find a hotel. Hotels around here don't have charging. Where are we? You know, this is where I actually grew up here in Elyria, but there's no charging anywhere. So yeah. Once we sit down for dinner, I'm gonna call a couple places to see if they have them, and maybe they're not on PlugShare, because obviously people don't stop here for charging and put stuff on PlugShare either. So someone broke this glass. This looks like the gateway at my house. It's not even locked. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's what the problem is. Old technology, broken technology. Tesla, come to what is this? Sheffield, next to Elyria. This one needs some help. Yeah, we'll move it. I mean, well, all right, we actually made it back home. I didn't want to take a bunch of video of this at the church in the parking lot, but I built this a long time ago. This is a podium that from the front is across, and as you go to the side, it becomes a fish. Kind of a cool design, but this is solid wood. This is mahogany wood and aspen wood, and it is laminated together. It is not, or it's one solid piece, so it's not with this strip in the middle. This is actually one solid piece with that curvature here, with the nice angles. This was very hard to do. This took a lot of time because this is curved, shaped, and it's pretty awesome. This did take a long time, and this is 12 years old, and all the joints are still really good. There's a little bit of damage. Someone did drop it, taking it off the church podium because, I mean, it's a little heavy. It's not too heavy, but again, mahogany wood and aspen, which is a lot like maple. And it's just bolted together at the bottom with a spacer. And if you know how to do that, you know how difficult that is to make this. So I showed you the podium that I made. That was a really cool piece, but this table I made as well 12 years ago or so. This is all from one tree that fell. It was all really thick boards. It's white oak. Is it white oak or red oak? It's red oak. It's definitely red oak that was all kiln dried, and I made it for a friend that wanted specifically this size and everything. put those bow ties in because there's like a river crack through the centerpiece. It looks really good. And my brother got it from him as my friend moved out of town, and which I'm glad Kevin has it now because it's really cool. And I don't have too many pieces of that I've done, so it's cool to see what I've used to do. This is a really cool table.
It's our kitchen table for life now.
Nice thick. This was heavy, I remember. And I made that bench with it. It's been out in the garage here, but it hasn't warped too bad. And of course you can fix this warp. The warp is really from this point right here, but they can bring that down and flatten it back out. All right, so we have this safely in the car, and we are staying at a Fairfield Inn. I could not find a place to find a charger. We have a charger here at a hotel. And what I want to do is, it's not too bad now, and I don't want it to get really humid at night. So I'm going to leave camp mode on, leave the air conditioning going, because this is raw wood. I mean, not raw wood, but it's wood, and it's been indoors its whole life. And I don't want it to introduce it to a lot of humidity and have things warp. That's what happens with wood. So I'm going to leave it in camp mode, plug it in overnight, charge this up, and then, because it's late, it's 11:30ish, and we're south of Canton, Ohio. So we started driving back out. And that way we'll leave with a full charge, or so, 95%. And then we'll get home tomorrow a little sooner because we'll miss all the traffic in Akron-Canton area. We'll wave to LeBron and be back home. So camp mode and then plug in. So we're gonna go into camp mode. Now I know it's gonna have, I should just leave it on. I'll just leave it on because we're not gonna get under 20%. And I can check this, and I don't want, camp mode plays the screen there. It's gonna draw a lot of attention, and then people see the stuff on the inside. I don't really need that. So I'll leave it on, and we'll set the temperature. 75 is comfortable. Right now the temperature outside is 76, so it's really not going to use that much power. 100% is going to be how long? 6 hours, 6.5 hours. So probably 7 hours of charging, maybe 8 hours because of the it's going to be using power at the same time. Let's do 74 because we've had it at 71 in here. 48 amps. And let's see here. So this last drive back, 334 miles. Well, I'm sorry, 334 watt-hour per mile. We've gone a total of 583 miles. Remember, like I said, it's 500 there, 500 back. So we're staying here, Fairfield Inn. Decent. We're gonna get some sleep, get some breakfast, get on the road. We're already partway there. And I'll see you in the morning. And get some sleep. Good morning. So the AC was on all night. Plugged in. We're at 100%. It's still charging, so it's trickle charges. But you can see that there's a water puddle because the AC condenser going all night long. But that's all right. This is not bad for it because it's being plugged in. Because it's using that power the entire time, it's not really draining on the battery per se, although I did charge it to 100%, so that doesn't help. It's 7:30 in the morning. We're going to get on the road. And we should be home a little after lunch. All right, so we have 2 hours and 44 minutes on this drive. We can go 190 miles basically, because we're pretty much fully charged. Oh, it is 100% now, but it's still charging because the AC was running. We'll get to the next supercharger. Oh, we're going to Charleston, West Virginia? No, we're not. Okay, we're not doing that. That's a version. Yeah, we're gonna we get there with 17%. We're gonna go to a different one because that is a slow charger. We could go fast and just stop here at Ripley. We were gonna stop at Ripley is what it said before. We're probably gonna stop there because Charleston is a 110 supercharger. Not doing that. So let's add that to the trip, and then it adjusts the two superchargers. We'll get there with 33%, which I'm gonna drive a little faster, so we'll get there. Yeah, we should be home before 3 o'clock. So my dad's in there getting coffee because it's kind of early still, and these trips are fun, but It would be nice if these superchargers were at juice bars or a healthier option than all these gas stations. There's really nothing to eat in there, especially if you're in the morning and you don't want to just stop at McDonald's or anything. So these road trips are fun, especially with my dad. We used to go on some road trips for work a long time ago. It's kind of fun, so maybe I'll let him drive the car a little bit if he wants to. Maybe not in the mountains, but maybe once we get in North Carolina. But this is a fun little trip with some nostalgia from the stuff I've built, and so hanging with my dad a little bit, and just having fun. That's what these things are all about. It's a little bit of wasted time, I guess, that people might say. It takes a little bit longer sometimes, people say, when you're driving with a Tesla because you have to stop and charge, but it makes it relaxing because I'm not driving. The car's doing everything, and we're not beat up at all. We weren't beat up last night. Just a little tired, that's why we stopped. Even with those wheels and tires on there, it's not really that much noisier. You get these wheels because you want the capability, not so much efficiency, but they're not as bad as I thought they were going to be, because I've had wheels and tires this size before on my old Model Y, and that was a performance. It's better on this than it was on that one, but these things are so much more capable than the stock 19s, and yes, you do lose some efficiency, but it's like you don't buy a Cybertruck for efficiency, you buy the Cybertruck for capability. Same thing with those wheels and tires. You don't buy those wheels and tires because you want to get more watt or less watt hour per mile out of it, but you want to have the capabilities when you want to. And those things are really fun. You don't have to worry about speed bumps. You don't have to worry about a lot of stuff. So it's fun. It's going to be a lot more fun later when I get the suspension. I bought that from Unplugged Performance, so that should be here, I don't know, in a week or so? 2 weeks? I don't know. It was on back order for a while, so that should be a 3-inch lift kit on top of this, which will look amazing. What else do you think I should do? Should I get a roof rack on top? Should I get just the bars? I'm going to put the name of the company, the wrap shop, on the side. But this thing should be almost done charging. Why does it still say 20 minutes? Well, we're not going to wait 20 minutes. We're going to have to find a different place. Getting a very slow charge here. I'm not sure why. Instead of moving to a different charger, the cable's probably hot already, and waiting another 15 minutes, there's another closer one to before we get to the supercharger it wants us to go to, and we'll stop there. We'll get there with 40, well, probably 30 some percent, and then we may charge there or we may go farther. Depends on the situation, but probably stop there and then make it home. We'll play with it, but I don't like to sit here and waste time, especially when we're getting slow charge. So I'd rather jump to the next charger, especially when superchargers are right off the highway. We make up time that way and get on the road. Plugged in at Marmet, West Virginia. It's right on the river here, and we were gonna have to charge for 15 minutes at the other one. We're really only charging for 3 minutes just to get to Princeton, and we'll then be able to make it home from there to Charlotte, north of Charlotte. So maybe one more stop, depends how fast we get a charge here. This is a decent place, maybe we'll have lunch there. Quick stop, we'll get to, according to this, we'll get there with 8% right now. A couple more minutes to charge, and give us a little buffer. That's why I like stopping at faster chargers, because we're getting 113 versus 74. It wanted us to wait an extra 15 minutes at the last one. We're here for 5 minutes and then we're gone. It saves us quite a bit. This is right off the highway, so we're right back on the highway, ready to pay those tolls in West Virginia. So at this supercharger, there is a gas station over there, like all superchargers apparently, but this is right on the river. A big truck stop here. It's nice that we're not at the gas station, but we're at a diesel station. Looks like they're building a nice gas station there. I guess there's a gas station over a little bit. Looks like it'll be better. But we're right on the river. I know there's issues with the superchargers. They're not going to be putting new stations in. They're going to be expanding what they already have. But for a lot of the superchargers I've visited lately, they're not in the best locations, is what I've noticed. So, but it gets the job done, I guess. If you like gas stations. Enough to try. A couple minutes, in and out. I gotta watch out for that spider. All right.
Oh, that was faster than the gas station. That's amazing.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
So, yeah. Made it to Princeton. Watt-hour per mile is pretty high because we were going fast through the mountains, up and down, and that's going to happen. But we need to charge here. I don't even know how long, but we'll get some food. It's what time is it? It's almost lunchtime.
Yeah, but you need to figure out what. Yeah.
We'll plug it in first. Oh. How you doing?
Did you wrap it when it was new, or?
Well, all right. So we already charged for a little bit. We were talking to somebody out here. So to get home, let's put in Mooresville. So to get home, we only have to charge for 10 minutes. We were only talking for about 5 minutes. So to get home, we only have to charge for 10 minutes.
What do you want to do? Want to eat or what?
We actually left and it said we'd get home at 3.
Yeah.
So we made up a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's 40 minutes to fully charge. So we can go, if you want to sit at Chili's for a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
That way we don't have any range anxiety, you know. We'll get there with plenty of
You would think you wouldn't have range anxiety after the trip home, but. So we had lunch over there at Chili's, and now we have quite a bit of fuel, of energy to get home. We'll get home with 46%, and maybe I should do a video where I go on a trip, but we go jump from supercharger to supercharger like we were doing before, and then on the way back, stop and eat and charge what the car says, like 40 minutes sometimes, and see which way's faster. Is it better to go jump like that, or to just take your time and listen to what the car says? Total of 999 miles. The last section was 330 kilowatt hours per mile, and the average was this. Going fast. Driving fast. It's pretty good.